first down.
So it's going to be 2nd and 10. They lost maybe a half yard, it looks like, on that play. Engler will get under center again. He has 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, and hand off to Fields again. And he's going to be gobbled up at the line of scrimmage again. A number of Centurions on it. Chad Guerin.
To really make these
Chase Guerin, sorry.
These losses here, Mike, you just look at it. Western Hills has 7 men on the line of scrimmage, and they're thinking they can run against us because the Centurions only have 5 men on the line of scrimmage. The defensive line is making sure they're getting in those gaps, and not only getting in the gap, but making sure they're controlling the gap as well and not giving up any huge running lanes, and the linebackers are coming in and really cleaning things up.
2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Engler goes back in the shotgun this time. Fields just to his right, about a yard behind him. Engler's going to keep this time, and he's got a hole up the middle. He's going to be tackled out there for the Centurions by Easton Messer. It's not going to be enough for a first down, though. He gets out to the 30, just past the 30-yard line. It's going to be 4th and 1 for the Wolverines.
And with a big play like that, I would have to assume they're going to go for it, even though they're down here on their back. But, hey, as I say that, it looks like they're getting in punting formation. So what do you got to lose here? So great job, 3 and out, but just make sure you watch the fake.
Jason Rogers back to kick. Ball takes a one Sunday hop right to Rogers, and now it's going to go back and take a hop for Western Hills and end up down about the 26-yard line. So what looked like it could be a break on a bad hike ends up being a pretty good punt for the Wolverines.
Great job by the kicker there to really take control of a bad snap and was able to fend off the defenders from the Centurions and get a good kickoff.
So Centurions will take over at their own 26-yard line. And Cole Hodge will bring the Centurions out. Gavin Copenhaver, the running back. Hodge back to pass on first play. Finds Adam Ballard out with a quick hit at about the 30-yard line.
Yeah, the Western Hill defense is playing a lot of man coverage, so I like that first play. Get a little dump pass out to Ballard in the open field and just see if he can just continue to make something happen there. So good tackle there by the cornerback.
2nd and 6 for the Centurions. Hodge comes up under center this time. Hand off to Copenhaver. Big hole on the right side. Does a little spin move and tackled out there by Jason Rogers. Make it a 4-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 2 for the Centurions.
Yeah, generally you don't see Gavin Copenhaver tackled by one defender there, but the defender did a really good job of getting low and just really stopping his feet from continuing to move forward on contact.
3rd and 2 for the Centurions. Hodge goes under center, trips to the right, 1 receiver left. Messer goes in motion, gets the ball coming back the other way. Turns the corner, and he's going to get the first down all the way out to the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Centurions.
That play has just been so successful at various points in the game. When you think about short yardage, especially on 3rd down, you got multiple options there. You got the hard running of Gavin Copenhaver. You got the ability of Cole Hodge to be able to run the ball, but you can always count on Easton Messer, and that's exactly what they did. Get him in motion, do that reverse counter there, and he got upfield for the first down.
Hodge under center again. Hodge keeps looking to pass. He's got Messer, I believe, and Messer's going to try to take off. He's across midfield down to the 30 before he's twirled to the ground by Garrison Graves, but another quick hit, and then you saw Messer's speed just take off.
He's the real deal. I mean, I can't say anything. He has really great hands. He has great visions, and I know we've talked about all season about the fact that he is so explosive, but now I start to see more of the vision, the hard running, and there's that quickness and speed with the yards after catch.
Ball at the 27, 1st and 10 for the Centurions, and Jumping off sides for Western Hills is going to be Billy Ratliff.
And for Western Hills, for them to even have any type of success on tonight, they're going to have to limit those mistakes with penalties, and they're going to have to do a good job of taking care of the football.
Make it 1st and 5 for the Centurions. Ball down to the 23. Looks like they may be changing the play or getting a play in from Coach Cantwell. It moves Copenhaver left to right behind Hodge. Hodge going to roll right. He's looking, and he's going to let it fly down deep in the corner. It's going to be out of bounds. Good defense by the Wolverines, putting some pressure on Hodge when he rolled out.
Yeah, he saw a little bit of space there, and typically you have an option on that play action rollout. Either your quarterback doesn't have a defender pressing down on him, and he can run for some positive yardage if those receivers are covered. And typically, I will probably see them go back to that play because I look at the backside receivers to be able to run a little bit of that formation, slants across the middle of the field seems to be the soft spot here in the defense. So we'll see if they come back to that play.
2nd and 5. Ball on the 23-yard line for the Centurions. Their first drive of the evening. Fakes it to Messer, gives it to Copenhaver. Goes up the middle, cuts to the left. He may have enough for the first down. And it is a first down.
Yeah, Taylor Childress, number 56, Childers for Western Hills did a nice job of wrapping up Copenhagen there. So we're glad to get some positive yards there and good play design. When you see Easton coming in motion, he automatically draws attention from the defense.
Messer in the backfield now. He takes off out into the right flat. Hodge fakes it to him. He's going to keep it. He zips through the middle, and he's going to get all the way down to about the 2-yard line. Hodge wanted that goal line, but got down to the 2 before he was tackled.
And you like to see that. I mean, when you talk about attributes of a quarterback that's a dual threat, we talk about the things on the surface from his ability to pass and run, but it's the little things. How do you finish plays? Your decision-making there, and that certainly was a great design play to get up the field and almost scored on that play. Again, when you got Easton Messer in motion there and running a lot of misdirection, it really throws the defense all kilter here. Looking forward to this first down.
1st and goal from the 2. Copenhaver has it, and he's not even touched. Nobody near him. Touchdown, Centurions.
Too easy, Mike. As you look at those holes that those offensive line has made so far in the game, Copenhagen has protected the football, and they got up to the line of scrimmage very quickly, ran that play, and just saw it executed very flawlessly to get 6 on the board.
Dylan Cornett in for the extra point. Copenhagen the 2-yard run for the first touchdown of the evening in the game. Ball's down. Kick is up. Kick is good. And with 5:55 to go in the first quarter, Centurions go up 7-0.
Christian Academy of Louisville wishes to thank our athletic trainer from Court and North Sports Health, the official sports medicine and rehabilitation providers for Christian Academy of Louisville. We would also like to recognize Dr. Lauren Schaefer with Ellen and Bodenheiser Orthopedics for volunteering his time at tonight's game.
And with a 74-yard drive in 8 plays, took 2 minutes and 41 seconds, ending in that 2-yard run by Copenhagen. And Draper, we talked about balance before this game began, and you saw a little bit of everything there. You saw the passes to Messer, one to Ballard. You saw running by Copenhagen, Hodge, and Messer, and just kind of this team has so many different ways to attack you.
Yeah, they're just very explosive is the best way I could describe it on offense. You got a quarterback that has the ability to get some huge chunk of yardage at any point in time with his decision-making and his ability to run the ball. And we know for sure we can pound it if we have to with Copenhagen and Easton Messer out there in the flats, running some great routes and a lot of ways to really do things offensively there. So they have to continue to do that and just give what the defense is going to allow here as they continue to keep that balanced attack.
Starks and Rogers are back. It is a short kick that Rogers going to take about the 15, goes to the left, got a little hole on the side. He gets outside, He's running down across the 50, finally brought down on the far side of the field. Nate Heidenreich finally tracks him down, but Rogers gets all the way across midfield to the 44, I believe, of the Centurions.
Yeah, Rogers had a really good, what I call a line drive, like in baseball. So he caught the ball clean, and he didn't take any stutter steps. He hit the hole. He read his blockers, and he just put on the burst of speed at the end. And luckily for the Centurions, he didn't get any more yards than he did there on that kickoff return.
Ball on the 43 of Christian Academy. So great field position for Dylan Engler and the rest of the Wolverines. Engler in the shotgun, back to pass, looking. He's going to go long. He's got a man, but overthrows him. Going long out there for number 21, Dylan McGahee. In coverage with Zach Agee. Ball was a little overthrown. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, they hadn't had a ton of success in the passing game. 19 of 79 on the season for 356, only about 45 yards. And when you don't have a whole lot of time and your offensive line is not really protecting you as a quarterback, sometimes you tend to get that ball out just a little too soon, and he actually outthrew the receiver there on that first down play.
2nd and 10 for the Wolverines. Trips to the right, one receiver left this time. Engler gives off the fields, tries to get out to the left side, and he's going nowhere. Dupes and Nathan Carlisle make sure he only gets about a yard on the play. And that run defense is just stopping the Wolverines tonight.
Yeah, they're really playing some really good techniques. And as I'm standing here, the stairwell case, Mike, is giving me a perfect view to the way that those defensive linemen are using their hands to get those blockers off. We started the game with a 5-man front. Now we've kind of gone more back to a 4-4 with the defensive end a little bit off the line of scrimmage and really declaring to the strong side of the field. So on that particular run play, I don't know if it was a design or not, but they actually countered away from the strong side defensive end and went to the backside of the field. So now we have 5 on the line, added another, actually 6. We'll see if they try to run or go for a play action.
It is 3rd and 9. Hand off to Fields again. He's going to go up the middle. He's going nowhere. They did a fake to, I believe it was Navi Starks who was in motion, gave it to Fields. He gets nowhere. It'll be 4th and 9.
And this is the opportunity when you talk about the quarterback play. That's why I've really commended Cole Hodge all season. He is so smart when he gets underneath the center. He's looking at the defender, seeing how many people are in the box. And on that particular play, we actually had 6 men on the line of the scrimmage and more in the box. And I knew that that play wasn't going to go much further considering the fact that we were stacking the box, had really good containment on the outside from our defensive end. So let's just see as this 4th and 8, they have a little bit better field position, what they decide to do here on offense.
Well, it looks like they're going for it. Engler in the shotgun. He's back to pass. Here comes pressure. He's going to try to run. He stopped, and now he gets loose, and he's going to get about 3 or 4 yards before he's brought down. But great pursuit by the Centurions. Ball goes over on downs to Christian Academy.
Yeah, the ability for a defensive lineman to really retreat. When you have so much momentum going up the field, the quarterback finds a way to kind of escape that pressure and then be able to retreat and trail and make that tackle from behind. It's just really solid, sound football.
So with 4:32 to go in the first quarter, Centurions take over for the second time this game. They'll start at their own 39. 2 receivers left, one to the right. Copenhaver in the backfield with Hodge. Hodge is going to pass it, though. Looking across the middle, nobody there. Now he goes on the right side. Dupes wide open at the 40-yard line, gets down to the 31.
Kudos to the offensive line there. I mean, he had all the time he needed to really set his feet, go through a few reads, and he was able to find the tight end, which we hadn't seen a lot of. Most of our long striking passing plays have actually been with our receivers on the outside or in the slot. And so it's kind of nice to see a tight end to QB connection here on first down.
We've been looking for those Will Parr tight end plays. We finally saw one tonight to Dupes. 1st and 10 for the Centurions. Hand off to Copenhagen. He avoids a tackle in the backfield. Now he breaks it up, gets to the 25, 24-yard line. And what a job by Copenhagen Draper to avoid that first tackle in the backfield.
Yeah, on that first drive, he got caught up a little bit. He allowed a couple of single defenders to tackle him, and now it seems like he's running with his pad level a little bit low. The linemen are getting up to the line of scrimmage in a hurry, and they're taking advantage of the tempo.
7-yard gain, make it 2nd and 3. Hand off to Copenhagen again, trying to get outside, and he is going to be slowed down and finally brought down by Billy Ratliff, but not before he gets enough for a first down, all the way down to the 17-yard lines where they're going to mark it.
And I like the way, too, like once he got the ball, he just continued to make sure that he protected the football, kept those feet moving. Again, a second consecutive play where he's made that first defender miss. And when he does that, his stats, his history tells us that he can continue to make some explosive plays, and he's going to have a great night.
1st and 10 at the 22. Hodge goes back under center. Flip to Copenhagen this time. He's got some room, cuts back inside, gets down across the 10-yard line all the way down to the 9, just short of the first down. It'll be 2nd and 1.
And they really stretched the defense there. You had Easton Messer spread out toward the home side of the field, the wide side of the field, and a press man coverage there. Oftentimes they know that is his time. When he's down here in the red zone, he's able to really make a slant play or that corner route there toward the back of the end zone. So we'll see if they go for that type of play here with him spread out, or will they give it back to Gavin Copenhagen, who's been the workhorse here on this series, and let him punch it in.
Messer spread out to the right side. Play action. Hodge rolls right, looking for Messer. He's covered. He's going to fire it across, just out of the hands. Going in there for Dupes, but just out of his outstretched hands. It'll be 3rd and 1 for the Centurions.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I couldn't see his eyes from here, of course. I'm in the back of his helmet, but it looks like he's second guess. Like he was wanting to take his bet on Easton Messer there in the corner route, but at the last minute he saw the tight end coming across the field, and it looked like he can get a better throw off there and still secure the touchdown. So just a little bit out in front of him, not able to connect on that play. I got to believe they're going back to Gavin Copenhagen, or just allow Cole Hodge to do a QB sneak and get the 1 yard.
Hodge steps back. Now goes back under center. Hands off to Copenhagen. Big hole up the middle. It closes quickly, but I think he gets enough for the first down.
Yeah, that was extremely, extremely close. And I'm a little bit of surprised. He actually made a cutback. You know, I think he could have kept moving the momentum going forward to the right side of the ball. I don't know if they were in that 4 hole or the 6 hole was the design run play, but it looks like if they would have kept moving forward, he would have easily gotten the first down. But, you know, again, you look at the field conditions there, maybe he slipped or didn't have the opportunity to really get that cut, that hard cut that he would allow his momentum to carry him forward for the extra yard.
Well, he did not make the first down. It is 4th and about a half yard for the Centurions, and they're going for it. Copenhagen in the backfield. Hodge under center. And we got a flag, illegal procedure on the Centurions, and that'll make it now 4th and 6.
And those are the things you don't need, especially on those short yardage plays on 4th down. Now you have to back them up 5 yards. You're at 4th and 6, and you have to now dig a little deeper into the playbook, or you decide to do what looks like they're going to do, maybe try to kick a field goal.
It is Dylan Cornett in for a field goal. He has a 35-yarder this one. This one will be 30 yards for Cornett. Ball is down. Kick is up. He's got plenty of distance, and it is good. Dylan Cornett, his 2nd field goal of the season. Make it a 30-yarder, and Centurions go up 10-0 with 1:04 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, Cornett is 2 for 2, as you mentioned, Mike, on the season. His first field goal, it was for 35 yards earlier this season, and that one for 30 yards. So just definitely like the added value. We know he's always been money on the extra points, but to see him contribute there on the field goal is definitely great. So glad the Centurions didn't come away without getting any points on the board.
That was an 8-play drive for the Centurions. They started at the 39, got down to the 13 before that 30-yard field goal by Dylan Cornett, and they go up 10-0 with 1:04 here to go in the first quarter.
Inspiration can come from anywhere. Greek islands, Mediterranean markets, or mom's kitchen. That's exactly where Tzatziki's has discovered some of the most innovative dishes yet. Their recipe for creating the deliciously unexpected is simple. Wholesome ingredients with a dash of inspiration. Join Tzatziki's for lunch or dinner any day of the week. Visit Tzatziki's restaurants in Middletown and St. Matthews or order off the Tzatziki's app for curbside pickup.
Rogers and Stark are back. Rogers with a great return last time. This time he's going to take it at the 10. He runs into his own blocker. In fact, it was the other guy that was back, Navi Starks. That slowed him down enough for the Centurions to put him to the ground, and Western Hills will start at their own 23-yard line, it looks like.
Yeah, and Navi Starksdale looks like he was just preparing to really get that running lane, but as you mentioned, his teammate was kind of stalled there, not really determined in terms of who he needed to pick up in his blocking assignment, and really slowed down the momentum of the run.
1st and 10 for Western. Third series for them on the evening. They have come away scoreless both other times. In fact, I don't think they have a first down this evening. Engler under center. Going to give it to Fields. Tries to get outside. A little more success this time as he is still going before he is finally pushed out of bounds by Copenhagen. That is the best run of the night for this Wolverines team.
Yeah, the Centurions went back to their 5-3 look there, and just looks like the defensive end came inside and didn't really keep the outside arm free and keep that contained. And then we had a missed tackle there too from our cornerback. So when you have that sort of mix-mac there, then it makes it sort of challenging for them to slow the offense down and not allow them to get some positive yardage.
As a 6-yard gain, make it 2nd and 4. We'll see if they get a playoff before this quarter ends. Engler in the shotgun. Just kind of looking at the clock. I think they're going to let it run out and end this first quarter. And that is exactly what they do. We come to the end of one quarter of play. 10-0 Centurions.
The Cal baseball team will host its 2021 Cal Alumni Baseball game tomorrow at 11 a.m. Food, fellowship, and a chili cook-off will follow the game provided by the current players. Come out and support Cal baseball.
I'll tell you tomorrow, Draper, you got baseball and a little chilly day. You got a chilly day for chili.
It is. That just makes for, the seasons are changing when you start talking about chili outside and chili in the bowl.
And I'm going to tell you, it'll be good chili tomorrow and good baseball tomorrow. Coach Clark done a great job with that baseball team. In fact, got to the 2A state finals last year. Lost to Paducah Tillman, we think. The game was protested, and I don't think they've made a ruling on it yet. But as of now, they're runner-ups for 2A state tournament. But he's done a great job with that team. A lot of great pitchers, a lot of great talent coming back this year. So look forward to a great baseball season for Coach Clark. But we look even forward more to the chili cook-off tomorrow at the baseball game.
There you go. You got it. We know what's important, Mike.
And seeing all the alums come back for baseball night or baseball afternoon, that is fun as well. And now we are back ready to start the second quarter. Centurions 10-0 lead, and an impressive first quarter for the Centurions, Draper.
Yeah, they have pretty much had their way. You take away that second drive where we were not able to convert there on the 4th and 1, and we had the penalty there. But other than that, fundamentally we're doing all the right things. We're running the ball hard. We're getting blocks, and defensively we're rallying to the football.
2nd and 4 for the Wolverines. Engler's going to keep after the fake to Fields, and Dupes is going to be the first one to hit him in the backfield, and Copenhagen is going to help finish it off along with Gunnar McKinley. And that's going to be a 3-yard loss.
Those are always some of the best tackles for me. When I see those defensive linemen, what I call, Mike, really pinch that line of scrimmage. It's all about the footwork. So you're out there wide. obviously the running back is going to the opposite side of the field, and the ability to be able to take the right angle with your footwork and get down the line of scrimmage and make that play is a coach's dream.
Make it a 2-yard loss, 3rd and 6 for the Wolverines. Rogers in the backfield now, sets up behind Engler. Engler back to pass. Here comes the pressure. He's being chased. He's going down. There is a flag down, though. It may be a face mask.
Certainly looked like a face mask, but you can't negate the pressure that the defensive lineman put in on that play, and sometimes it's so challenging when you have quarterbacks are trying to make their way out of these tackles and they're getting lower, and sometimes the hands of the defender just sort of slips on the face mask. And you're right, Mike. Face mask on the Centurions. Unfortunate call there on 3rd down.
I did not see who the face mask was on, but it still is way shy of the first down. In fact, they even after the penalty, they lost 3 yards. So it'll be 3rd and 9, maybe 3rd and 8 for the Wolverines now. So hopefully that penalty just stopped the inevitable here. I'm going to tell you, Engler had no time to pass on that play.
Yeah, he had no chance from the start. I mean, the defensive line, I've been watching them on every single play. They're getting down in their stance. They're ready to play, and their only focus is to get into that quarterback.
Fields back in the game at running back. Engler back to pass. He's going to just let it fly, and he's going to overthrow, going for McGahee again. He was in double coverage with A.G. and McCade Batcher, and he got rid of it quick, and that had to be from pressure from the previous times.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it definitely looks as if the timing of the quarterback's off, but the only reason why that timing was off, as you mentioned, Mike, the great pressure there by our 4 defensive linemen.
So another punting situation. Josh Rogers in to do the punting. Easton Messer sets up at the Centurion 45. Rogers, the great baseball. Speaking of baseball, Coach Clark may want this guy on the baseball team the way he fielded that last punt. That was a tough hop to field.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see if they kick it to Easton Messer or kick it away, because this is about the time of the game where he really starts to explode.
It's going to be to Messer. He goes back. He takes it at the 38. Avoids 1 tackler. He's trying to get outside on the left side. Waits for a block. Now he cuts back the other way, and he's going to be brought down at the 40-yard line in Western Hills territory. On the tackle, I'm not sure who that was. I'm trying to see his number. It's going to be the kicker, Josh Rogers, with the tackle.
Yeah, it was a little crowded there. But when they cut the tape on Mike, I can tell you from past experience, they're going to get on him for allowing the kicker to tackle him, regardless.
We have seen some good tackling by this Western Hills team tonight. Play action. Hodge going for it all. Firing for Messer. He's got him. It's going to be touchdown. And how many times have we seen that this year, Draper? This time, a 40-yard bomb right behind double coverage.
It's only a matter of time. Anytime you have someone trying to guard Easton Messer in one-on-one coverage and not even pressing him off the line of scrimmage, that's definitely not a good sign, and you'll continue to see more plays like that being made on tonight if they continue to stay in that defensive formation and coverage there. So great pitch and catch by Cole Hodge and Easton Messer.
Bryce Wilson the holder, Dylan Cornett the kicker. Ball's down, kick is up, and kick is good.
The Cal softball team will be hosting its annual all-you-can-eat pancake breakfast on Saturday, November the 13th from 8:30 to 11 a.m. at Cal. Tickets are $7, and you can purchase tickets from any softball player. All proceeds will benefit Cal softball.
So we've got chili tomorrow, we've got pancakes in a couple of weeks, and we got a touchdown on the field. Easton Messer, a 40-yard touchdown reception. I'm going to have to look back next week and see how many of his touchdown receptions have been over 30 yards this year, but it's been quite a few.
Yeah, I will be interested in that stat as well. And, Mike, I like your little jingle. You talk about the number of bowls of chilies and the touchdown, but you forgot the partridge in the pear tree.
Yeah. We got Cole Hodge with his 15th touchdown pass of the season. Easton Messer now in double figures, his 10th touchdown reception of the year. And the Centurions are kicking off yet again, this time with a 17-0 lead. Ball's in the air. Rogers is going to get it again. This time he takes it at the 7. Tries to cut up the middle, and grabbing him and bring him down for the Centurions, Aiden Davis with the special teams tackle. And Western Hills will start their 4th drive of the evening.
Yeah, I want to call out C.J. Hinton on that play. He didn't make the tackle, but you got that first blocker, how he took him on, and that just allowed your teammates to come in and really clean up that play. So those are just some of the little things that go unnoticed in the grand scheme of things in these games. So not a lot of good field position, which you like there for the defense. And it's time, too. The defense has done well so far in this game, pitching a shutout. They're doing a lot of great things, but it's time for them to create some turnovers now at this juncture of the game.
Engler under center. Going to hand off to Fields. He goes up the middle, and there is nowhere to go. Thatcher, Copenhaver in on the tackle, and about 3 other Centurions. McCown in there, Gunnar McKinley, Dupes on the bottom of the pile. Nathan Carlisle in there as well.
And McKay Batcher has done a really good job all season long. He's had 35 tackles, 1 sack, and 4 tackles for loss. Yeah, it's really good technique. His pads are always low, and he has his head up. So just like you teach it, he's definitely executing the position at a high level.
That actually is a 2-yard loss. It'll be, 2-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 8. I'm trying to take yards away from Western.
Hey, you may be foreshadowing on this play, Mike. I call turnover or potentially a loss based on what we've seen the last couple plays.
Engler's going to hand off the receiver. He tries to turn up field, and he's going to be brought down after a good gain. I believe that was Demetrius Britt, also known as Michi, on the carry.
Yeah, when Western Hills has had success tonight, which hasn't been a lot, they have managed to get the ball on the outside, whether that be a counter or reverse with the wide receivers. That's where they've had most of their success. Not in the passing game, not necessarily running the ball in between the tackles, but just getting on the outside. So we'll see if Coach Miller continues to stick to that and just see if they can manage to get a first down here on 3rd and 5.
Empty backfield. Watch the Centurions coming on this one. Engler back to pass. Here comes pressure. He throws it across the middle. Incomplete. Copenhaver on the coverage, and here comes a flag for pass interference and a flag in the backfield. So we've got a pass interference. That one in the backfield came late. That may have been a roughing the passer. I think we got 2 penalties against the Centurions here.
Yeah, I couldn't see the potential roughing the passer, but I definitely saw where Gavin Copenhaver got there just a split second too early, but really great defense.
And it is pass interference and roughing the passer. So they'll take one of those. Either one will be a first down.
Yeah, I got to believe they'll take the roughing the passer for the 15-yard, especially where the spot of the foul.
So that's going to be the first down of the evening for Western Hills. And the fans are excited. It is all the way out to the 44-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Wolverines.
And, yeah, part of their keys, too, is if they're going to have any chance on tonight of putting points on the board, they're going to have to sustain offensive drives and really just make sure that they keep the explosive offense of the Centurions off the field and really win in time of possession.
Engler goes under center. Fields in the backfield. Fields gets the ball, tries to go up the middle, and he is going to be taken down at the line of scrimmage for no gain. And, boy, there's been nothing for Fields going up the middle tonight.
Yeah, you can pretty much cancel that play. If you're trying to run in between the tackles, it's not happening here against this stout defensive line on tonight. You're going to have to get creative with some counter plays, again, trying to get to the outside. But they've done a really good job of pressing the line and really just controlling the line of scrimmage here throughout the first half of this game.
I shouldn't be. Well, we're sorry for the technical problems. If we're frozen, we can't really tell. But we got a strong signal, but we'll see what happens here. It'll unbuffer here in a little bit, hopefully. Engler bobbles it. Now he's going to throw out in the flat and over the head out there going for Jacob Fields. It's going to be incomplete.
Every pass he's thrown has really been over the head of the receiver, or just not in the best spot for them to have any success in completing a pass. And if you're the Centurions, you have to be careful here not to be offsides and get caught up on a snap count.
Engler back to pass. Fires it out to the left side. Complete to Rogers. He puts a couple moves on and still moving. Gets across the 40. Going to be a first down.
And what's so ironic about that is that pass was actually tipped at the line, Mike. And so for it to have the completion, it looks like the Centurions had to get a hand on it to stop it from being overthrown. But anyway, good pitch and catch there.
Yeah, that time Rogers just quick about 10 yards out. Engler hits him and then Rogers.
And what frustrates you, too, as a defensive coach is not only was the pass complete, but just the ability for him to get those additional yards after the catch. He made some really nice moves in the open space, but luckily we were able to bring him down.
1st and 10, 6:48 to go in the first half. Engler back to pass again. Looks out in the flat. Hits Fields on the run. That was a pass they overthrew a little bit ago, but great coverage by the Centurions. Chase Guerin with the tackle for no gain.
Yeah, that play looked like it would go for a few positive yards just very briefly, but a nice job on our defensive backs really retreating. They try to use those out receivers there on the go routes to really try to make sure that those defensive backs are upfield and out of the play, but nice job of them keeping their eyes in the backfield, coming back up, and stopping that play for no gain.
2nd and 10 from the 39-yard line of the Centurions. Western Hills does eat up some clock in their scheme of playing. Engler back to pass again. Here comes pressure, and Gavin Copenhaver with the sack just coming out like a cannon to bring Engler down for the big loss.
And that's how you dial it up. He has had 2 consecutive completions, which definitely doesn't align with his completion percentage so far in the season. So what you did, Mike, right there is that you had those 4 down linemen. They said, hey, we got to continue to press the line, and then you sitting that linebacker shooting the gap and allowing him to come in and just make a nice tackle on the quarterback.
What a sack by Copenhaver. Makes it 3rd and 18. Got to make Engler think about this pass and see if he hears any footsteps coming after him. Back to pass again. Here comes the pressure. Ball is tipped at the line, and going for the interception was Copenhaver, but hit in front of him. It'll be 4th and 18.
Well, it definitely seems like Coach Miller's gotten the memo. We're not able to run on this team, so let's just see what type of success we can have in the passing game. For them to come out on this drive and have 4 passing attempts there is a little bit surprising based on the scouting report, but way to respond for the Centurions. Now you've created a 4th and 18. You've allowed them to punt, and now we can see if we can get the ball back into the hands of our offense.
Messer at the 10. Punt is up in the air. It's going to go out of bounds. He kicked that, was going out of bounds the entire way. Let's see where they mark it. They're going to mark it at the, he's still walking. They're going to mark it at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, part of that memo is kick it away from number 4. Not necessarily kick it out of bounds and so short, but whatever you do, kick it away from number 4. So he did his job there, Mike.
Good job by the Centurions to stop that drive, and they take over with 4:57 to go here in the first half. Centurions have had the ball 3 times. They've had a touchdown, a field goal, and a touchdown. So 3 scoring trips for the touchdown. Last time it was a 1-play drive, 40-yard pass to Messer, and that ball's going to the outside and over the head of Adam Ballard. It'll be 2nd and 10.
I like the way they're trying to get Adam Ballard involved in this ball game. They had a nice little 10 to 12-yard completion earlier in the first quarter where we ran a tight end drag route. And, again, just trying to get him out there in open space and take advantage of his great hands. So 2nd and 10, I have to believe that Looking at the time on the clock here, 4 minutes and 53 seconds remaining. They may try to run the ball here or play action and hit it deep to really continue to get another score on the board.
It's going to be a handoff to Copenhagen. He gives back to Heidenreich going the other way on the reverse. And he's going to get about 3 or 4 yards. Good job by the Wolverines sniffing that one out, but still a 4-yard gain for the Centurions.
Yeah, good play design. You know, typically you don't see those wide receiver reverses with a tight alignment. Normally you try to spread out your offensive team so that way you can create larger running lanes, but to be able to do it so tightly there is a good scheme, good play design there for the Centurions.
Make it 3rd and 7 for the Centurions. Under center goes Hodge. Fakes the pitch, gives off to Messer, tries to get outside to the right side. He does. He's got an opening, 40, 35, 30, breaks a tackle, and then finally runs out of bounds about the 20-yard line. But a big run for Easton Messer. Make it a 42-yard run, in fact, all the way to the 20.
And that's the first time he's actually come in full motion. The last couple times he's come into motion right past the right offensive guard, and he's gone back for those counter plays. So that was kind of a little bit against what they've done to really get him the ball in his hand the previous possessions, and really a nice run and great blocking downfield by the receivers in order to make that play successful.
Take 9 yards off that gain. They said he went out at the 29-yard line. Hodge fires a quick pass out to the side to Ballard. He breaks one tackle, but he goes out of bounds. Quick out to Ballard. He gets down to the 22-yard line. 7-yard gain, 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3 here. You've had 2 consecutive completions there by the quarterback. So you'd have to believe this may be an opportunity for you to run the ball, kind of loosen up that defense after you've now shown that you've passed on the last couple of attempts.
This is almost Cole Hodge delay run area right here.
It is, and they have linebackers in the middle, so he's probably going to have to get rid of real quickly if they pass or just hand it off to the receiver.
And we got a flag down. It's going to be illegal procedure on the Centurions. So a couple weeks off brings back a couple of those timing penalties.
It does, and you'd like to think that you would continue to do a better job in those areas considering you've had additional practice time, but that rhythm there as well, and sometimes the defense creates those by some of the shifting motions and some of the audibles that the offense is going to have to call based on the fronts that the defense have demonstrated or maybe not have seen on tape.
Make it 2nd and 8 for the Centurions now after that 5-yard penalty. Ballard and Messer go left, Heidenreich to the right side. Hodge in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff to Copenhagen. Now throws right back to him after Hodge starts to go left, throws back to the right to Copenhagen. He's going to pick up about 4 yards, tackled by Jacob Fields.
Yeah, Copenhagen was trying to read his blocks there. Looks like he was trying to cut back inside, and the defender just did a good job of just hanging on there. But if he cuts that up the field, he probably would have gained some additional yardage there. But good play, good throwback play, especially from the rollout, knowing that Cole Hodge has the ability to really take off in the open field, but to throw that back and to get some positive yards, you'll take it any day.
3rd and 3 for the Centurions. Messer and Ballard out left again. Heidenreich on the right side. Play action. Here comes traffic. Hodge, a great pass, gets it away. It's going to be complete and thrown out of bounds on the far side on the completed pass to Eason Messer. But what a job by Cole Hodge with somebody in his face, Draper.
Yeah, he did. He threw that ball a little bit off balance, and that just shows you another facet of his offense is just having a really strong arm and the ability to keep his eyes downfield and not shy away from the contact there on the defense. But it looks like, based on the soft spot in that coverage, that it had a deep safety who was back about 12 yards. And if Easton Messer would have potentially ran a slant play, looks like he may have had the ability to take that in the end zone. So we'll see if they'll come back to that if they stay in the same defensive front.
1st and goal from the 8 for the Centurions. Hodge rolls right. Rolling, looking, fires a pass in the corner, complete for a touchdown. Pass was complete to
Looks like Ballard.
Adam Ballard. I don't think you saw that on your video. You saw the wall that our camera's behind. But it was an 8-yard completion to Adam Ballard for a touchdown for the Centurions. And then to do the kicking, Dylan Cornett. You know, one change we saw, Connor Cloyd, of course, hurt in the last game for Centurion. So Bryce Wilson is the holder now.
And Bryce has done a nice job. You know, again, you talk about the timing of things, and that's a critical position here, especially on special teams. So nice hands, nice job, and count the extra point.
So Adam Ballard with the reception. An 8-yard touchdown pass from Hodge, his second of the evening. Dylan Cornett with his third extra point to go along with the one field goal. And the Centurions go up 24-0 with 2:52 to go here in the first half.
I like the fact that Ballard has been so involved, especially here early in the ball game. He's had a lot of targets here on tonight, and he certainly has taken advantage of them.
That was a 65-yard drive for the Centurions. 7 plays, covering 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Second touchdown pass of the evening for Cole Hodge. And Adam Ballard with the reception. That is Ballard's third touchdown reception of the year. Go ahead.
I was going to say, hey, another commercial break here. E-News is Cal's online newsletter that allows fans, parents, and supporters of Cal athletics to keep up with the latest news in Cal sports. E-News is distributed weekly and includes sports from elementary, middle, and high school from all of Cal's Kentucky campuses. To subscribe, email enews@chschools.us.
Dylan Cornett, the kick again. Ball's going to go over the head and into the end zone. Longest kick of the night for Cornett. And the Wolverines will get the touchback and come out to the 20.
And what you're doing here, if you're the defense, is you just want to make sure you don't give them any type of positive momentum going into halftime. With 2:52 left, they need to be a 3-and-out and give your offense another opportunity to potentially get 6 more points on the scoreboard.
Centurions will be the receivers of the kickoff to start the second half. Will be nice to stop them here, get one more score.
And you have them deep, too, right there on the 20-yard line. The defensive line has been giving you great pressure all night. Be kind of nice if they come out and continue to throw the ball, which they've had a couple of nice completions here on that last drive.
Engler in the shotgun, Fields just behind him. Back to pass again is Engler. Here comes pressure. He lets it fly, and it's going to be incomplete. Overthrows again, going for Jason Rogers. Back on coverage, Zach Agee.
Probably one of the few times he's actually had good time to really throw that ball, and he still overthrew his receiver there. So a timing play where they have to continue to work on that pitch and catch, especially with a speedy receiver there with Jason Rogers.
Second and 10 for Western Hills. Hand off to Fields, and man, he's going to be grabbed in the backfield. I'm not sure who that was, Gunnar McKinley down there. It'll be third down.
Linebackers there was watching the footwork and just their eyes. I mean, they have been automatic all night. They have not shied away. They've played run first, and they're just really finding those gaps. But, hey, a tribute to those defensive linemen. They're getting their hands in there if they're not making the tackle and kind of slowing down the running back and allowing the rest of the troops to come along for a lot of different game tackles on tonight. We've seen a lot of white jerseys around these ball carriers.
Third and 10 for the Wolverines. Engler, quick pass out to the right side, completed to Starks. Tries to cut back, but Copenhaver with a great tackle stops Starks from picking up any more yardage. It'll be 4th and 5.
And great timeout call there, 4th and 5. We got the timeout to really settle down and kind of talk through the situation here on this 4th and 5 and just see if we can get a nice return. I mean, we know the ability that Easton Messer has to really return this ball, and if we don't jump off sides and we stay disciplined there on the line, he'll certainly have a good chance of putting the offense in great field position to close out the second quarter.
And Jason Rogers, be interesting to see if he's in the punt. He looked like he was limping a little bit after that ball was overthrown to him, almost like, you pull a hammy or calf muscle, and so it'll be interesting to see if he comes out and continues to be the punter for this team. We have 1:51 to go, 24-0. I think one first down in this half for Western Hills, a tribute to how great this defense has played.
The defense has played fantastic. I mean, when you look at the number of completed passes, which has been minimal, I think it's only been about 3 or 4 completed passes tonight. We've had great pressure on the defensive line and a lot of great tackling by that linebacking core as well. So when you have all of those elements working for you, that's a sign of a really solid stand for a defense. And as I've talked about a little earlier in the second quarter, is that they have also been accustomed to creating turnovers in these type of environments. And Western Hills has done a good job of taking care of the football tonight and not allowed us to take advantage of any turnovers.
Rogers is in the punt. He sets up at the 15. Easton Messer at the Centurion 40. Boy, he barely got that one away. It is a high punt. Messer's going to be able to field it. He goes back, takes it at the 32. Trying to come to the right side. He's got one man to beat. He beats that lineman. Now he's got a hole on the right side. Breaks another tackle, cuts to the left, and he's going to go all the way.
Well, I don't know what you want to call me, Mike, but I definitely said it was about that time for Easton Messer to get involved in a return, and he delivered.
68-yard punt return for Easton Messer, and he avoided 2 key tackles, hurdled another tackle, and let his blockers do the rest.
Yeah, that's good. And I think the hang time of that punt as well had a lot to do, because before he gets that return and gets that ball in his hand, he has done so good at really finding out where he can really run the ball. Regardless of the blocking, he finds a spot to where he can take an advantage. And once he gets to the outside, he's not going to be called too many times from behind.
Garnett in for the extra point. Ball's down, kick is up, kick is good, and 1:32 to go. Centurions go up 31-0. That is Messer's first punt return this year, so he now has at least 1 rushing touchdown, 1 receiving touchdown, 1 interception return touchdown, 1 fumble return touchdown, and now he's added a punt return touchdown. He's just short the kickoff return. He'll have it all done.
Yeah, and I know one of those interception returns was out of the end zone, so you almost want to give him credit for a kickoff return, but I know that doesn't count in the stat book, so you're right. He's almost checked the box in every way that you could potentially score on the field.
If he gets the kickoff return, he's going to – Coach Cantwell's going to have to let him throw one too. Then he'll have every possible touchdown you can get.
That's right. That's right, definitely. Follow Cal Athletics on Twitter for Centurion Athletic news and game updates. Cal Athletics at Centurion AD. For Cal Sports game scores and schedules, visit our website at www.chschools.us/English-station/Centurion.
Rogers and Stark are back. .132 to go. It is another deep kick. Rogers going to be able to field this one at the 8. Comes up on the right side, and he's going to be tackled by a slew of Centurions. The first one to hit him, Alex Ullum, I believe. And Western Hills will take over at their own 26.
And if you're Western Hills, really as a coach, what you're telling your team is now, hey, we don't want to turn the ball over with 1:26 left here in the first half. Take care of the football. Let's make some good decisions with the ball, and I'm going to put you in the best situation to make sure we get out of here with 1:26 seconds left in the first half and not do ourselves any additional damage.
Ball's placed actually at the 27, so it's 1st and 10 from there. Engler gets the snap, quick throw out to the right. Going to be completed to Stark. And Nate Heidenreich makes sure he goes no further, so it'll be about a 2 or 3 yard gain on that pass.
So interesting play call there. I know they've had some success here with those little dump passes to the wide receivers, with the little curl routes over the last couple possessions. But when you think about the time and stopping the clock and those receivers running out of bounds, a little bit surprised by that, especially here on their side of the field.
Well, they definitely got your message about don't run the ball anymore, Draper. They just didn't get the one that says don't go out of bounds when you catch the ball.
There you go. So maybe I need to go down at halftime, Mike, and really stress that, especially if you're trying to get some points here on the board.
2nd and 8 for the Wolverines. Engler back to pass. Here comes pressure. Now he breaks it on the left side. He's looking to run. He's going to go down. He looks like he's going to get the first down on the scramble by Engler. It will be a first down. Good job by Engler to step up where he could step up and get the first down.
Yeah, you just take anything you can at this point. I mean, you're down 33-0. The message to the team is like, let's continue to just find ways to have some positive things happen to us here for the remainder of the game. You still have to play 2 halves. You definitely are dejected coming in at this juncture of the game, especially knowing that you've played some close ball games over the last 3 games.
1st and 10. Hand off the field. He tries to get outside. He does. Then he's going to go out of bounds. On the tackle for the Centurions, Isaac Patrick. And that's going to be an 8-yard gain, and they ran out of bounds this time and stopped the clock with 38 seconds to go.
Yeah, well, the game plan is starting to shift a little bit, right? So that nice quarterback run set them up, put them in a little bit of better field position. So now they're thinking, hey, if we can get a couple more plays like that, we potentially could get 3 points out of it, or even may just go for a touchdown here, depending on where we are able to continue to advance the ball. So you got more options a little bit, Mike, when you get a couple of big plays with plus 10 yards.
2nd and 2 for the Wolverines. Engler has a few words with his running back Fields. Hands off to Fields. He's going to go off left tackle. He's got a hole, and he's got the first down as he crosses midfield to the 49. Isaac Patrick, Gavin Copenhaver on the tackle. So Western Hills has matched their first half output in first downs in this series with 2 of them.
They've mixed things up a little bit. When you start to really have a balance like the Centurions have done all season of pass and run, it really has the defense guessing, and sometimes you can get out of rhythm of doing what you have traditionally done, but just a really nice job of just keeping them out of the end zone, and I imagine they're going to put extra pressure here with about 10 seconds left here in the quarter.
Here comes the pressure. Here comes the pass. Going to be completed to Rogers, and he's going to be brought down. Gavin Copenhaver, Sam McCown, and that's going to bring us to the end of the first half of play. Centurions with a 31-0 lead. We'll be back in about 12 minutes to recap first half play and statistics, and then bring you second half action from Western Hills. Look like they got 20 minutes on the clock as opposed to just 15, so it may be senior night or some presentation. So if that's the case, we'll be back in 18 minutes. So take a long break, and we'll be back to recap first half. 31-0 at half, Christian Academy with the lead. 1-0 at halftime. It was a great offensive and defensive performance by the Centurions. They had the ball 4 times in that first half, came away with a score each time, but they kicked off to start the game to Western. They were 3 and out. Centurions took over on their own 26, and 8 plays later, it was a 2-yard run by Gavin Copenhaver, his 10th rushing touchdown of the year. Dylan Cornett, 1 of 4 extra points in that first half, and Centurions were up 7-0. After a 3 and out the next time, or I'm sorry, it wasn't a 3 and out. Western Hills turned it over on downs to the Centurions. They got a great kickoff return by Jason Rogers to put the ball into Centurion territory. They got to the 39-yard line before they turned it over on downs, and once again it was an 8-play drive by the Centurions. And this time it ended, though, not in a touchdown, a 30-yard field goal by Cornett, his second field goal of the season. Centurions are up at 10-0, and that was the score at the end of the first quarter. Western Hills forced a punt the third time they had the ball, and this time Centurions took over on the Western Hills 40-yard line, and it was a 40-yard touchdown pass from Cole Hodge to Easton Messer. Hodge's 15th touchdown pass of the year, Messer's 10th reception of the year, a 1-play drive that took 5 seconds, and the score was 17-0 Centurions. Western Hills started to get a little more comfortable offensively, had 2 first downs on their next drive, but were forced to punt. Centurions this time took over on their own 35-yard line, and 7 plays later, it was the 16th touchdown of the pass of the year for Cole Hodge, and it was a 8-yard touchdown pass to Adam Ballard, his 3rd touchdown reception of the year. Centurions were up 24-0. And after another punt by Western Hills, this time it was a punt return. Easton Messer, his first touchdown via the punt return this year, a 68-yarder. Centurions are up 31-0, and Easton Messer now has a touchdown via the run, via the catch, via an interception, via a fumble recovery, and now a punt return on the season. And that's how the first half ended, 31-0. We'll be back in about 30 seconds with a look at the stats of the first half. Christian Academy Louisville football. Centurions lead 31-0 at halftime over Western Hills Wolverines. And Draper, I think you have the first half stats for us.
Yes, the first half has been extremely impressive for the Centurions. With only having 9 first down, as you said, we have had 31 points. We've been very effective on third down efficiency, 3 for 4, and a total yardage of 226 yards and very balanced, 141 in the passing game. Over on the Western side, they've only had 5 first downs so far here in the first half, and they have not been very effective on third down. They've been 1 of 6 and 0-1 on first down. They've only been able to amass a total of 53 yards, so that defense has definitely been stout, and only 28 yards in the passing game. And as you look at the yards per pass, we've done a really job, 12.82, and we've had 85 rushing yards. So I fully anticipate for us to continue to run the ball very effectively here in the second half. Now, we have had our share of penalties. We've had 5 penalties for 62 yards. So if there was anything I would point out that we can continue to make sure we take a look at, and that's decreasing some of the penalties that we have there. From an individual stat perspective here, let's take a look at our offense. Cole Hodge has had a great night, 8 for 11 for 141 yards. That's an average of 18 yards per throw, with his longest being 40 yards to each semester, and he's found the end zone twice with receivers, and he has looked no further than Easton Messer. He has 3 catches for 86 yards and 1 touchdown. And also Adam Ballard has 3 receptions for 19 yards for 1 touchdown. In the rushing, the leading rusher is none other than Easton Messer. 2 carries for 39 yards. He's averaging about 19.5 yards per carry, with his longest being 33. Gavin Copenhagen has also been Mr. Consistent. 7 attempts for 33 yards, 4.71 per carry. And he also has found a way to find the end zone. And for Western Hills, we talked about they have definitely not played a great half of football. Dylan Engler is 4 of 9 for 28 yards. 16 yards was his longest and no touchdowns. And from receiving, they've only had a few receivers to actually get in the stat books. One, Jason Rogers, we talked about, has had 1 catch for 16 yards, Mike. And those are your first half stats.
Very good, and this is your second half start. And it's going to be an onside kick by T.J. Walker. And ready for it and jumping all over it was Nathan Carlisle. So Nathan Carlisle has his first kick return of the year.
There you go.
So
by any means necessary, Mike, get in the stat.
So Centurions will start with great field position on their own 49-yard line. 2 receivers left. That is Ballard and Messer to the left, Heidenreich to the right. Hodge in the shotgun with Copenhaver to his left. Back to pass. Fakes the short one. Now he's going to go long. He's got Heidenreich. And Heidenreich looked like he short-armed it just a little bit at the last second and couldn't pull it in.
Yeah, so a lot of people may be wondering, like, hey, you still can see the Cole Hodge still in the game. At this point, up 31-0, from a coaching perspective, you're now saying, how can I get some of these younger guys involved in the offense? You think about, some of the other receivers there. You talk about, Hangreich, McKinley, McCollum, Russell, Dupes, all those young guys there getting involved. And also, too, from a backup perspective, we just don't have a lot of options here on tonight. So for those of you watching, just something to think about as we move forward in the second half.
Isaac Patrick in the backfield now, and he's going to play action. Hodge looking to throw again. He's going to lob it out to the side to Gunnar McKinley, and he's going to take off down the sideline all the way to the 20-yard line before he's brought down. That may be McKinley's first reception of the year.
And that's what you like to see. You get him an easy catch there. He secured it, and the yards after the catch just continue to move the chain. So great pitch and catch there by McKinley.
Second reception of the year for Gunnar McKinley. He had a 5-yarder earlier in the year, and that one quadrupled his current yardage pickup of the year. Patrick to the right of Hodge in the backfield this time. Hodge back to pass again, fires. It's going to be complete. And going in to score is going to be Easton Messer. Easton Messer, it looked like it was a pass. It was going to gain about 5 or 6 yards, and he turns it on and gets a 21-yard touchdown reception from Cole Hodge.
I mean, there's really not much more I can say that I haven't said all season about Easton Messer. You look at the catch, the vision down the field, and just the way he is able to elude tacklers. So it's not like the defenses aren't clouding him. It's not like they don't know he's going to get the ball, but just his ability to make the miss and really great footwork to get in the end zone is so impressive.
I mean, there was like an arch around him that time, and he just took a couple yards back and outran everybody to the outside to go in for the touchdown. Centurions go up 38-0, and that means we will start a running clock here, I believe.
And you're right. And even as you're preparing for a threat like Easton Messer in practice, it's so hard to duplicate, right? In most cases where teams have tried to slow him down in the season, they've had a spy on him. They've tried to play 2 high safeties on him. And either way it goes, they've always found a way to get him open against these defenses, whether that be lining him up on the line as a slot, at running back, and he's just done a phenomenal job of making sure he cashes in on his opportunities.
Messer has his 11th touchdown reception of the year. Hodge his 17th touchdown pass of the season, a 3-play drive that took 45 seconds, covered 51 yards, ending in that 21-yard touchdown pass from Cole Hodge to Easton Messer.
Now, the one thing I don't think I've seen, Mike, and correct me if I'm wrong, is him lining up in a single wing. So we'll talk about that after the kickoff.
Okay. Ball's going to be a line drive kick taken by Rogers. He's going to go up the right sideline and gets all the way out to the 30. I tell you, the Rogers kid has some serious speed, Draper.
Yes, he definitely has some serious speed. And not only that, he has a lot of fight. I mean, when you look at the scoreboard, your team's down 38-0, and he's continuing to give it all he got. And as a coach, that's what you like to see. Who's going to continue to fight, when things are going your way, and who's going to demonstrate that leadership in the huddle, also demonstrate that leadership on the field with some of the active play there. And you just have to have a lot of respect for a kid like that.
Ball on the 31-yard line for Western Hills, 1st and 10. Centurion's quick strike offense scored in the first 45 seconds of this half. Engler back to pass. Here comes the pressure. He's going to run up the middle. He breaks free. Coming from behind to tackle him was Dupes.
Yeah, and Engler took a shot there. So you have to just kind of watch. I don't know if they'll make him come out for a play, but he definitely took a shot there toward the end of the play. Good read for him. He saw the pressure. He found the crease and was able to kind of get a couple of extra yardage on the field, but he appears to be okay.
Make it a 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6 for the Wolverines. Draper, I guess they listened to you, decided no run. We're going to come out with the pass. This team has run the ball about 3 or 4 times more than they have passed it on the year, but have made that decision since the Centurions have stopped the running game.
Yeah, if anybody's taking their stats, they see a lot of negative yardage when they put the ball in the belly of the receiver and probably a few more pluses when they decide to pass.
But this time they are going to run. Fields gets outside. It's the one run that's been effective tonight when they have had an effective run, and Fields going to get a first down all the way across midfield to the 48.
Yeah, and let's talk about that for a little bit. I talked about that in the first half, how they've had success running the ball on the edges. With us having 4 down linemen in our DN would considerably be the 5th down lineman declaring to the strong side. They run that counter play, and they try to run those defenders off the ball, Mike, since we're playing a soft coverage there, not really pressing the line of scrimmage to keep the eyes of our defensive backs in the backfield. So when you look at the dynamics of that play, you have 5 linemen in the tight end on line of scrimmage. You kind of like your chances there.
1st and 10 at the 48. In Centurion side of the field for the Wolverines. Engler back to pass again. He lets it fly. Good coverage, but Agee with the coverage. Good coverage, but even a better catch out there by Josh Rogers. It'll be 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Probably the most interesting stat to me on tonight, Mike, is he's completed 4 passes. I believe that's 5 or 10 for him. And 3 out of those 5 have been batted at the line of scrimmage. And the receivers have continued to maintain to catch the ball out there. So I don't know if that's something they need to continue to add. Just say, hey, bounce it off the hands of the D linemen, and we'll have continued success there in the passing game.
That may be why Engler's percentage is better than on the season night, getting that ball tipped a little bit at the line, taking a little of that heat off. And we're going to have a flag on the play.
Yeah, and in all seriousness, though, when they have batted the ball, they've had twins to both sides with a single back. So that just allows the defense to kind of spread out a little bit, and you really hit some of those curl routes and potentially some of those slants. They haven't had a slant, but a lot of curl routes where they're trying to get their receivers in space and just take advantage of their athleticism, especially with a receiver like Jason Rogers.
Offsides on the Centurions, gives them a first down. Ball's on the ground at the fumble. Centurions are pointing Centurion away. One official is pointing Centurions way, and Centurions come up with it. I think it was Gunnar McKinley who recovered it, but a bad snap. Ball on the ground, and Centurions recover.
Yeah, I'm glad they listened to me, Mike. I left the booth during halftime. We talked about it before the game, and the ability for the defense to create those turnovers. And so, hey, they found a way to recover it there, even on a fumble play.
So Centurions take over on their own 36-yard line. 6:41 to go here in the third quarter. We have a running clock with the Centurions up 38-0. Like we have a couple of subs in the game. We'll get caught up here in a minute. Hodge back to pass. He gets it out to Heidenreich. Heidenreich with a nice move, but he's going to be carried out of bounds by Navi Starks. About a 6-yard gain.
Ballard.
Oh, Ballard with the completion there, not Heidenreich. Excuse me, I'm getting everything mixed up here. Adam Ballard is in at QB now. I thought Heidenreich caught it. Everyone's over here telling me number two. I'm going, I thought that was Heidenreich. He's 1-2. But it's Ballard. They're trying to tell me Ballard threw the ball, and he did. This time he hands off to Heidenreich. And Heidenreich's going to be caught right at the line of scrimmage and go down.
Yeah, I got your back, Mike. We need to do a better job of communicating to you with our hand signals.
I appreciate it, man. They're over here going, number 2. It's number 2. I'm going, no, number 12 caught it. Number 2 threw it.
Number 2 threw it. The number 2 quarterback on second down. How about that?
There we go. It is third down now. We do know that. It is 3rd and 3 for the Centurions. We'll get through the game. We like to have some levity in our broadcast. Ballard under center. I believe that is Patrick in the backfield. Play action. Ballard's going to roll right. Looking. He's going to fire. Completes it. Completed pass to Andrew Dupes. He has a shoestring tackle, but he gets across midfield to the 47 for the first down. Dupes with 2 receptions tonight.
It's kind of nice to continue to see some these tight ends get involved in the offense. Talk about things you work on when you have a week off. You sit down and you look at all the statistics as a staff, and you go, hey, where have we been most effective in the offense, right? For a team were to put us on film, how do we now continue to explore opportunities to get more people involved, but also those high percentages plays? And on tonight, they've taken advantage of the tight ends getting the opening in space with a lot of those seam routes and a lot of those curls.
Ballard under center, hands off. I am not sure who ran that ball. I will find out in a second. With the carry was Lucas Hoffman, a new name in the backfield for us this season. And he comes away with about a 5-yard gain, it looks like.
He probably could have had an additional 2 or 3 more yards, but he kind of fumbled the handoff just a little bit. And when you fumble that handoff and you're not able to take it clean and get that full steam ahead, it slows you down a bit and allows the defense to come in and also slow you down to get in the running lanes.
Ballard going to roll left this time, looking to throw. He's going to fire, and he's going to overthrow, going on the far side. Pass was intended for Bryce Wilson out there, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 for the Centurions.
So you almost take for granted when we see Cole Hodge roll out to his left, a right-handed quarterback throwing across. But that's not an easy throw. And as you see Ballard there rolling out with a full steam ahead to his left as a right-hand quarterback, your footwork has to be great, right? You have to have that left foot out in front and really the arm strength to get that ball and not overthrow the receiver. So just want to talk a little bit about those mechanics, but that is a hard play to make.
Bryce Wilson, Andy Russell split out to the left side. Ballard, here comes the pressure. Nice little screen pass, and I'm going to tell you, he got it to Lucas Hoffman, and Hoffman was slammed to the ground. Dylan Norton, one of the tacklers on that play, and that brings up a 4th down for the Centurions.
Just glad he had held on to the football. That's always a tricky play because oftentimes as linemen, you draw that up pre-snap. Those linemen are directed to allow those D linemen go right past them, and they go to that second line of defense. You get a linebacker. Oftentimes those guards are going straight for those safeties, and you get people to sneak in there, then sometimes the running back has to be punished for it if you're not able to get a hand on the defender.
Michi back to receive the kick. Cornett with the punt, first punt of the night. It is a low kick. And Michi's going to pick it up on about the 4th bounce. And he is going to get all the way back out to the 16. I'm not sure if Michi caught that because he couldn't get out of the way or planned that, but he was just kind of sitting there watching it roll, and it bounced right up to his arms.
We call that the 50-50 ball. You know, as a kick returner, you just have to figure it out, right? If the ball continues to bounce you, then you put your offense in a bad position there inside the 10-yard line, or do you take a gamble and just depend on your athleticism and footwork to try and get you through some of the defenders? Luckily for the Centurions, they were able to really cloud him and not allow him to get many yards there, not even much on the forward progress. So excellent field coverage.
Well, it looks like a lot of the starters are still in there, but we were talking before the game, a lot of the backups hurt in the JV game on Monday night. Came out of that game with a lot of kids banged up. So a lot of the second and some third stringers not even available tonight for this game for the Centurions. Engler hands off the Fields. He tries to go up the middle. He's going to get maybe a yard this time.
Yeah, and you really hate, like you said, to have all the injured players. But, again, you try to look at the positive side of it, and the positive side of these guys getting this additional reps, they haven't had to play a lot in the second half of games this year. So as you go down the stretch, prepare for the playoffs, them having that continuity and just being able to look at different situations and down and distance scenarios would certainly be advantageous here. But if you're in there, keep putting it on them, right, and have the opportunity there to potentially get a score here if they were to get them back cornered in the end zone.
Engler in the shotgun, back to pass, fires out quickly to the right. It's going to be complete. Pass was completed out to Michi. He's going to pick up maybe 2 yards on it. It'll be 3rd and long for this Western Hills team.
And I couldn't really see it, but that ball kind of floated out there a little funny. I have to think maybe there's a tip ball again on that play, but we'll never know. We'll have to go back and watch it on replay.
And that brings us to the end of the third quarter of play. Centurions lead 38-0.
The Centurions Armory is Cal's retail store with a full line of clothing, accessories, and merchandise for every Centurion fan. The Armory is open Tuesday through Friday, 2:30 to 4 p.m., and open 7 p.m. for all home varsity football games.
Great place to go get your Christian Academy wear.
Yeah, Mike, we talk about how we enjoy working with one another, but our thinking is also in line. I know last Friday we hadn't even talked, and we ended up at the same event at Christian Academy. You want to talk a little bit about that, Mike, and what were we there for?
Well, we were at the Christian Academy fall play last week. It was a dark and stormy night, and a great play it was. Those kids just do a great job. And so it was fun being in Draper's right. We're sitting there, and all of a sudden Draper comes up to me and says, so on our nights off from football, we just go to Christian Academy events still, don't we? I
That's
said,
right.
yeah. I said, man, if I would have known that, we could have broadcast this play, you know?
That's right. Couldn't get enough. Couldn't get enough.
But, boy, I tell you, they do a great job. And they have a performance tonight, but if you have not seen it and want to go tomorrow, they have an afternoon performance at 2, a night performance at 7, their last 2 performances of the fall play. And you can buy tickets right there at the door. And I tell you, if you're not doing anything tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow night, I highly recommend you go see that play. They do a great job. It is a funny play, and the kids do a great job. We are back to football here. It is 3rd and 6 for this Wolverine team. Centurions up 38-0. Engler back to pass. He's going to let it fly long, and he's going to, just out of the hands. I was about to say it was going to go long, but catching up with it was Demetrius Britt. And it just fell just over the tips of his hands for an incomplete pass.
That was Engler's best throw of the night. He sat there in the pocket. His offensive line gave him a really nice pocket to throw out of. He had a receiver there on the seam route and just a little bit out in front of him and not able to haul that in by Demetrius Britt.
Bryce Wilson back for the Centurions as he sets up at midfield. Jason Rogers in to punt again. He sets up at the 9-yard line for the Wolverines. Rogers has got into a few of them tonight and sent Messer back. This is going to be a line drive one. Wilson's going to take it on the line drive at the 50. He's out to the 40, trying to go behind his block at the 30, and finally gets slammed out of bounds on the far side by the punter. That is Jason Rogers, the punter. That is his second tackle of the night on his punt.
Yeah, he has a lot of fight in him. I've definitely been very impressed and complimentary of Jason Rogers. He's doing it all, right? We thought earlier that he may have had a little bit of a hamstring injury, and if that was the case, he certainly has blocked it out mentally, and he has continued to give his team his all here on tonight.
Centurion's going to get the ball to the 25-yard line. Bryce Wilson, a 25-yard punt return on that play. Took it at the 50, got to the 25, 1st and 10 for the Centurions. Heidenreich split out far to the left. Adam Ballard still in at quarterback. And we got a timeout by the Centurions. Looks like some subs are in there, and Coach Cantwell wants to talk over a few things. We have 10:08 to go here in the game. 38-0 Centurions.
Congratulations to the Cowboys golf team who claimed the KHSAA Boys Golf State Championship title. Senior Matthew Trotman also took home the Boys Golf State Individual Championship title with a score of 5 under par. This is Cal's first ever team and individual Boys Golf State Championship.
And congratulations to them. Matt Troutman, Oklahoma signee, will be playing golf at Oklahoma next year. Congratulations to him, and what a great 2 days of golf those young men played. We are back to action here after that timeout by Coach Cantwell to go over things. Lucas Hoffman in at running back. Adam Ballard still in at quarterback. Our other two backup quarterbacks are hurt. Connor Franklin, Connor Hodge. So Adam Ballard is in, and it's going to be a handoff to Hoffman after the fake to Wilson. Hoffman's going to go straight up the middle for about 3 or 4 yards.
And let's pay attention to Nate Heinright here out in the receiver here, down here on the hash marks, so on the numbers, I'm sorry. So don't be surprised if we get into a 3rd and long situation to allow him to really come out and operate in space. So a lot of great options here, especially inside the 25-yard line.
Heidenreich goes to the right this time. Ballard back to pass, fakes a short one. Now he goes long, and he's going to have a touchdown reception. You called it, Draper. Nate Heidenreich with a 23-yard reception from Adam Ballard.
Yeah, you just do what the defense gives you. And having watched that play, a lot of times what opponents don't realize is that you call one play to set up the next, and you see what the defense gives you. And there they were playing a soft zone and allowed him to just do the double pump fake, and nice score. Nice delivery there. Nice ball by Adam Ballard to Heinright.
Adam Ballard, a line drive throw right after the fake, right into Heidenreich's gut. 21 yards. That is Ballard's, I believe, his first touchdown pass of the season. That it is, and probably Heidenreich's first touchdown reception of the year. So congratulations to both those young men. And Centurions go up 45-0.
The Cowgirls soccer team ended their season last week at the 7th region tournament versus Assumption. The team finished runner-up in the district and with a season record of 7 wins, 8 losses, and 1 tie. So Mike, with 9:15 left here in the game, now you come out and you duplicate that with the defense. Get a couple guys in here, let them execute the scheme, and just see how they defend the ball.
A 2-play drive for the Centurions, covering 25 yards, 1 minute, 28 seconds on that drive, ending in that 21-yard touchdown pass from Adam Ballard and Nate Heidenreich. Extra point by Dylan Cornett. We got to get a moment here, Draper. We do have one more game, a home game against Eastern next week. 7:30 kickoff would come out. It is senior night for the Centurions, and that'll be the last regular season game. Then playoffs will start. Cornett with the kick. This is a high one. Going to be taken by Rogers again. This time he tries to cut to the middle, and this time Centurions are going to thwart his desire to get a big kickoff as he gets out to about the 23-yard line before a number of Centurions, including, I believe, that was Nathan Ehrenborg in on that tackle.
The Cal field hockey team defeated Mercy 8-1 on Monday night in the KHSAA Region 2 tournament, but unfortunately failed the Sacred Heart in the regional championship the following night. They went on to win the first round of the state tournament last night 2-1 against Ballard and will take on Assumption in the state semifinal tomorrow, 5 p.m. at Cal. Good luck, field hockey.
Good luck at field hockey team. Of course, the champion of region play and runner-up in region play get to move on in the state tournament in field hockey, and Centurions qualified for that and are trying to go farther now. Engler, I'm not sure if that was a planned play or a mix-up. He looked like he wanted to hand off to Fields, and Fields looked like he thought he was going to pass, so Engler kept it and got back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe even picked up a yard.
Yeah, I would say that was a botched play. And typically, obviously, me being a defensive guy, Mike, I'm watching the footwork of the linebackers, and when they're not going downhill, if they're not opening up their hips one way or the other, sometimes there's a little bit of confusion, and everything's clued in on the quarterback. So him being a little decisive there was reflexive of some of the movement of the defensive backs there, especially when you look at that back seven. But I like the way we're coming out here based on the down and distance, playing a little bit of 5-man front with 3 linebackers there in the middle of the field.
Got a few subs in the game. We'll get to him here in a minute. Engler in the shotgun. And he's going to keep it. And he's going to be brought down after he gets across the 25 on the tackle. McCade Batcher. Andy Russell in the game at one of the cornerback spots. Gabriel Smith has come in at one of the safety positions. On the far side, Aiden Davis in at a corner spot.
I really like the nuances, too, of some of this offenses that Western Hill's showing tonight. They hadn't gotten any points on the board. When you look at some of those pulling guards and some of the plays that they're doing in those design quarterback runs, it just really makes really nice for a progressive offensive scheme. But the Centurions are just outmanning them tonight and just wanting it a little bit more.
Hand off to Fields. He's got a big hole, but he runs into Gavin Copenhaver, who takes him down one-on-one. And it's going to be about a 4-yard gain. It'll be 4th and about 3 for the Wolverines.
And why not? Go for it here, 4th and 4. Just get some additional play experience here. So the defense has to be ready. They may try to draw them off sides a little bit, especially when you have some backups in the game, either a quick snap count or maybe try to draw them off sides. So we'll see what they do here on 4th and 4.
2 receivers right, 2 to the left for the Wolverine team. Fields in the backfield behind Engler. Engler takes the high snap. He's going to let it fly, and it's going to be completed out there. They have gone long all night, and they're going to finally complete one to McGahee just over the outstretched arms of Aiden Davis all the way to the 40-yard line in Centurion territory, and that may be the best pass from Engler tonight, Draper.
Yeah, certainly his best play of the night. He's had some really good looks, some clean pockets his offensive line has created for him. His timing has been a little bit off, and for him to really deliver on that ball would definitely carry momentum for them as they start to think about next week's contest. And really as a coach, that's what you're emphasizing here. Let's go in and just execute these plays at a high level, not pay attention to the score, and let's just start preparing for next week.
Engler hands off and breaking one tackle and going back the other way. I believe that was Navi Starks. Nope, it was Josh Rogers. Jason Rogers, I'm sorry. Man, we've been calling his name all night, and he gets a 20-yard run to get another first down for the Wolverines.
Yeah, and if there's anybody more deserving of having some success for the Wolverines, it's definitely him. I mean, he is definitely continue to do his job and do it at a high level, whether that's running, whether that's kicking, or trying to catch the ball.
1st and 10, they mark it at the 22. In Centurion territory are the Wolverines. In motion goes Stark, hand off to Fields. He goes off left tackle. He's going to get a couple of yards before he's met and brought down. Nathan Carlisle on that tackle. Underneath for the Centurions, Christopher C.J. Hinton with the tackle.
And you like to see the young guys get in and really just understand the pace of the game, understand the different offensive schemes that teams try to run, how they block down, how you should really press the line. So there's a lot of learning when you're able to get real-life game reps and get it on film.
2-yard gain, make it 2nd and 8 for the Wolverines. Engel taking his time. Gets the snap, back to pass. Gonna lob it up there again and going for Rogers, but thrown way out of bounds, and it looked like a mix-up on which way his receiver was going there. Incomplete, 3rd and 8.
Looks like the ball just got away from him a little bit. Also, you got to give the defensive line credit. They had a nice rush upfield. He was not able to get a clean look and just a delivery there of the ball.
We talked about next week's game, a home finale of the regular season against Eastern High School, senior night, and then district play starts. Centurions, if they can stay with that number 2 RPI spot, they will be hosting every round all the way up to the finals, which are at UK and Lexington. So to hang on to that number 2 RPI spot or even get into number 1, Engler back to pass on the play. Lots of time. He lets it fly. Going to be incomplete. Almost an amazing catch in the end zone to Josh Rogers. Man, he tipped that. The ball went over the outstretched hands of a Centurion. Rogers almost tipped it to himself and caught it as he was falling down but couldn't hang on.
He's giving it everything he has. And with 1:55, I'd have to believe that his coach is trying to find a way to help him get a score, based on the work that he's done.
He is a tired young man. He is just walking back to the huddle. I'm not sure how much energy he has left. He's been on offense, defense, punts, making tackles on the punts. He has done it all, kick returns. He has done it all for this team tonight.
Yeah, and the thing that impresses me the most is his sportsmanship. Even after he made a big hit over there on the sideline, he got tackled, hit, whatever, he's just been showing great sportsmanship toward the opponent. So I want to applaud him for that. I've walked away really impressive.
4th and 8 for Western. They call a timeout. I think the game clock was about to run out on him, or play clock on him on that play. So let's talk about this tournament. After next week, we go into state tournament play. Centurions will be playing Henry County in that first game. Centurions number 1 seed in the district. Henry County number 4. They'll be playing the winner of DeSales Mercer County, who are 2 and 3. Big game. They play tonight. Winner of that game hosts the first district game in that following week. So then Centurions would play, if they beat Henry County, the winner of that game. And then that gets a little complicated. You have districts 1 through 4 that are tiered together, and 5 through 8. And it's all based on RPI of who hosts who. A winner coming out of each district. Right now, Glasgow is rated number 1 in the state via RPI. Christian Academy is number 2. And I have just lost my sheet that tells me all that. But Centurions are number 2. Bardstown's number 3. Union County is number 4. So the top 4 teams in the state come from districts 1 through 4. And boy, it'd be great to be that number 1 seed RPI, because then you'd be playing probably a Union County. Glasgow and Bardstown, both very good teams, and would be big tests. And then I think after that game, the 4 teams that are left, it's seeded by RPI. And then you go to the state finals.
Yeah. Well, thanks for breaking that down, Mike. That's a lot of information there.
I'm not sure if anybody understood what I just said, but I understood it. So
makes perfect sense, right? So if you're Coach Cantwell, hey, we bring you in to explain that. And the bottom line is, hey, they need to have the number 1 or number 2 seed to be able to host these games, and just continue to focus on what they've done well, and that's be effective on both sides of the ball and really make some nice plays in special teams.
We're going to have Glenn Franklin do a video chart of that next week so we can get it on the air. You can put it up there. We'll have all the brackets and everything. Main thing to know is Centurions, if they continue on in the state tournament and keep that number 1 or 2 RPI spot, they'll be hosting absolutely every round of the state tournament till you get to the finals, and that is important.
That is very important. And number 3, I would say keep winning, right? We keep winning. We'll let it all play itself out. Congratulations to the Cal volleyball team, who won the 28th district championship this week, defeating Eastern 3-0. The Centurions will compete at regionals next week.
I tell you, all the Cal sport teams are doing well. Golf winning state, field hockey moving on in the state tournament, volleyball moving on in the state tournament. It's a well-rounded athletic program at Christian Academy.
It is. And last but not least, I can't forget about this cross-country team too, Mike. The Centurion cross-country team will be competing in the regional meet tomorrow at Creasy Mahone Nature Preserve. Good luck to all of the runners tomorrow. And you're right, just a fantastic job across the board for a really great demonstration of athletes in every sector of sports we have at Christian Academy.
All I can say is I'm glad they're running and I'm not. I was never a big distance running guy. I'm going to tell you, those guys just, I admire them. They can just go run and run forever.
That's right. And I'm so glad they named the sport track and field because I participate. I tell people I ran track, but I was more the field guy, right, with the shot put and the discus, and didn't want to do a whole lot of running. So track and field.
You just make sure it's track and field, though, so I don't know it's just the field part.
Right.
We have 1:23 to go here. We're back in action now. 4th and 8. Engler rolls right, still rolling. He's going to throw the pass. It's going to be incomplete. Centurions will take over on downs.
And if defensively, you're happy about the shutout, right? You had a couple guys come in substitution, and they continue to execute the game plan. And you don't necessarily worry about the score. You worry about when we cut that film on, how well are we executing the scheme and really doing our job. That type of momentum continues to strengthen your team. And it also, as you look at these future classes of these younger guys coming up, they get better understanding of the concept and really understand the pace and the energy that it takes to really play defense at a high level.
Looks like Centurions have time for probably one play with this running clock. Zach Agee split out to the left side. I believe that's Andy Russell split out on the far side to the right. And Adam Ballard is going to take the hike and take a knee. And that should wrap it up, and it's going to be a victory for the Centurions. They go to 8-1 on the season, undefeated in district play, and will be number 1 seed.
Yeah, and that's the best play, Mike. Victory formation.
And they come away with a 45-0 win. We'll be back in a minute to recap tonight's win for the Centurions. Welcome back. Christian Academy Louisville football, where Centurions defeat Western Hills tonight 45-0. And they were dominated in every aspect of the football game tonight. Centurions kicked off in the first series. Western Hills was 3 and out. Centurions took over on their own 26, and 8 plays later, they covered 74 yards with a 2-yard run by Gavin Copenhaver to get the touchdown. Dylan Cornett with the extra point. It was 7-0. The next time Western had the ball, they had a great kickoff return by Jason Rogers. He returned to the Centurion 43. They got down to the 39 before they turned the ball over on downs. And Centurions marched down to the Western 13-yard line to set up a field goal, a 30-yard kick by Dylan Cornett. And it was 10-0, and that's how the first quarter ended. Next time Western got the ball, they were forced to punt again. Christian Academy, it took them one play this time. After a good return, got them to the Western Hills 40. And then it was a 40-yard touchdown pass on the first play from Cole Hodge to Eason Messer. One of 2 touchdown passes on the evening, or 3 touchdown passes on the evening by Cole Hodge. One of 2 touchdown receptions and 3 touchdowns on the night by Easton Messer. And it was 17-0. Next time Western got the ball, they were able to start to do a few things with the ball. Actually got 2 first downs, but then were forced to punt. Centurions took over on their own 35, and this time it was a 7-play drive that covered the 65 yards. This ended in an 8-yard touchdown reception by Adam Ballard from Cole Hodge. It was 24-0. And after a 3-and-out for Western, you're thinking, well, maybe the Centurions can get the ball back and with about a minute and a half to go and see if they can score. They didn't need to worry about it. Easton Messer took care of it as he caught the punt, returned at 68 yards for a punt return. Touchdown. Centurions were up 31-0, and that's how the halftime ended. Centurions then got the opening kickoff of the second half, and they took off right where they left off in the first half. It was a 3-play drive that covered 51 yards. It was a 30 or 21-yard pass to Easton Messer from Cole Hodge. It was 38-0, and then the defense stepped it up even more as they forced a fumble and recovered it. We think it was Gunnar McKinley with the fumble recovery. And Christian Academy then, with some substitutes in the game, were forced to punt for their only time of the night, the only time they had the ball besides the last series of the game where they did not score. They were forced to punt. Western Hills took over on their 50. Bryce Wilson with a great return to the 25. And on the second play of the drive, it was a 21-yard touchdown pass to Nate Heidenreich from Adam Ballard, a first this season, catching and throwing for both of them. And Centurions went up 45-0, and that is how the game ended. We'll be back.